Hi, this is Toby and welcome to spring watering of your cacti and succulents. Now throughout the winter you would have kept your plant relatively dry, and when I say relatively dry I mean really dry by not watering them at all. And if you're first time doing this, congratulations, you've seen how strong your plant is. They wouldn't have died. You can see most of my plants I haven't watered, they're not dead. Perfectly fine. You can see, although it looks a bit deflated, that's fine. I'm going to give it water now. So you might be wondering, when do I start watering again? Okay, so what I look out for is a more stable night temperature. So last week we still got temperatures dropping down pretty low to around 4 degrees Celsius, but now the next couple of days temperature's starting to warm up. Day temperature's getting really warm as well, 23, 24 degrees. And although it's not spring yet, like you're not gonna be like, oh, it's the 1st of September, we're gonna give our plants some water. No, don't do that. Look at what the weather is telling you. If it's the 1st of September and it's already cold, don't water it. But since it's really warm, you can start watering. And another good sign to see when to start watering your plant is to check if it's growing or not. Now, if you are a beginner, you may not know what cacti growth looks like, and I'll show you. So the first most immediately obvious sign that it's growing is if it's developing flowers. Now you can see on this Gymnocalcium baldianum there are 3 buds starting to develop, and I haven't watered this at all during winter, and it's a bit soft, you can obviously tell, but I can water it now because it's showing me that it wants to grow. So it's telling you I need water, I'm going to start to grow, and in return I will be watering it. And the second way of telling if a cacti or succulent is starting to grow is to see if the growth points have new bodies or tissues or whatever you want to call the new growing substance. You can see this is not that obvious, but if I get a plant, this is astrophyme, you can see in between the ribs, the growth point in the middle, it's starting to become slightly light green. That's showing me it's about to grow, especially with the new plants I've got. And that Gymnocalcium, you can see throughout the growing point, the middle of the plant, you can see this new spines being produced, the yellow and it's new spines. So that means it's telling me it's actively growing and that it needs water. Another good example of your cactus growing is this little, I think it's a little Echinopsis, I'm not sure of the species, but you can see new spines, new vegetative growth, you can see a little light color, and that means it wants to get watered. And these I haven't watered at all throughout winter, so they're pretty dry. 2.5 months, no water, they'll be fine. And I'll show you how to water in spring, and if you do it correctly, you hear a really satisfying sound. Just listen. Well, not so much here, but with some of them, you'll hear the water soaking in. It's a really satisfying sound. So I'll see if I can get in there and water it. Yeah, you hear that? That's the sound you're meant to hear when your soil's being dry and being watering it now. So now this is the first watering, and the water schedule afterwards, you should gradually give it more and more water, but don't exceed once a week. That's the golden rule. Well, not really a rule, but I just don't recommend exceeding once a week. I usually never exceed once a week. Sometimes I give my plants water once every 10 days, once every 14 days. It's just when your plant needs it. I don't really stick to a strict watering schedule with these plants. So that's what you do in spring. Check if your plant's starting to grow. If it is, give it a water and check the night temperatures. Don't give it water if you know that on that night it's going to get really cold. So when temperatures start to stabilize and your plant starts growing again, then give it good water. One day has passed since I watered it, and it is immediately obvious that some of the cacti have plumped up and some of the succulents. If you notice on this Orbea variegata, it was very droopy yesterday, but after one watering you can see it's already plumped up. Same with this Astrophytum, you can see it's round now, you can see it's starting to grow as well. Just after one day after watering, you can see nice shape compared to the flat little ball it was. Same with the Euphorbia obesa. I watered it. I can't remember if I showed you guys watering it or not. Astrofarm. Basically, all the plants that were watered will start to plump up. Now, with some of them might be a bit slower. Like for example, with this is Neobuxformia euphoboides, and it's slowly starting to plump up. But with all the cacti I watered, which I'll show footage of that, which should have been shown, you can tell that they've plumped up. I gently squeeze them, it's very firm. So I hope you guys learned something from this video and know when to water, and don't be scared to keep your cacti dry over the winter. I know a lot of the newcomers will be like, oh, I'm not watering my plants for 3 months, it's gonna dry, it's gonna dry out. No, it won't. As I've shown you, they're doing perfectly fine and healthy. Nothing wrong with these. So be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.